everyone, it's Kayla with the Celebration Company. Happy Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday evening. Hope y'all are doing well. I am making, actually I'm kind of just throwing this together, so I hope it turns out good. I don't have a recipe. I'm just throwing some stuff together that I have, and we're gonna see what happens. So we're making a Mexican street corn, and it's kind of like just a side dish. So just taking some corn and jazzing it up to make it kind of Mexican-y. So that's the plan. We'll see how it turns out. So when you hop on, say hello. Let me know you're watching. Hopefully y'all are doing well today. Let's see. I think I'm starting to see some people hop on. I was worried for a second maybe I wasn't live. So tell me what y'all are up to today. Did you get any snow? We did get a little bit of snow, not a lot. And it's already cleared off the roads. The roads are just wet. So really happy that we didn't have what we had the last time we got snow, which it just stayed for forever. So really glad we just got a little bit, and it'll probably be gone by tomorrow. Thank goodness. So when y'all hop on, say hey, let me know you're watching. Let's see who we've got joining today. Like I said, I'm kind of just flying by the seat of my pants on this. This is actually kind of what I do in the kitchen most of the times. A lot of the times before I share things with you all, I make sure I kind of know what I'm doing. But this one is not that case. I'm just literally have never made this before, so we're just kind of putting things together. All right. Let's see who we have. Hi, Rita. Hey, Rhonda. Hey, Carol. Hello, Pam. Carol Gore and Carol Traskell. Hi, Rhonda from California. I'm so jealous. Hey, Jamie. Hi, Teresa. We are making a Mexican street corn. Okay? Yes, Mexican street corn. So we'll see how it turns out. So I have my pan over here preheating on medium heat. And I'm going to grab an onion and go on and get half of an onion chop. This is a giant onion, so I don't need the whole thing. So I'm just going to cut it in half and set the other half aside. And then we're going to just chop this up. Can you all see what I'm doing? I swear, sometimes you never know who's going to hop on over on YouTube. All right. Hello, if you're watching on YouTube. You never know what they're going to say. Usually it's right in the first few minutes and you have somebody hopping on that just wants to say something stupid, you know? All right, so I'm going to get this diced. I want this to be a pretty small dice. So I'm first starting with my layers going across the onion. If you've never chopped an onion like this, it's the best way to do it. Teresa, this is from the boutique. So you'll see that you've got the root end. I always cut from the root end to the tip end, the top end. And then I start making just slices across it, okay? And then I turn it to where the root end is opposite of me. And then I start making slits right down like this. And I'm doing like 1/4 inch or less. Okay. Then we turn it back. OMG. And just start making slices down like that. Woo! That's a spicy onion. Okay, so then you can you get these perfect little pieces. We can go in and fix any little bits that we missed. All right. am turning my YouTube off because I've got some people being not nice over there, and I'm not interested in taking part in that because I'm not going to let people talk to me like that. So turning that off, and we'll continue on Facebook and TikTok. Y'all, my eyes are watering. This is a strong onion. Okay. Sorry, y'all. Distractions. Okay. So got my oil. I put some olive oil in the pan, about a tablespoon or two, into the pan. The pan was already warm, so I am going to add my onion. Okay. All right. So let's just get that sauteing. I want to just soften it a little bit. And now I've got some leftover bell pepper. This is orange bell pepper. I'm going to cut it up as well. I'm actually going to make this a little bit smaller. This was left over from Super Bowl where I had cut it to dip. Okay. And then we'll just dice this up. Uh-oh, what's wrong with Lynn? Nope, it's not carrots. It's a orange bell pepper. So we'll add that in there. And I'm going to go ahead and add some salt. And I'm just doing probably about a teaspoon of kosher salt. And that also helps your onions to release some of their moisture so they brown a little bit better. Okay. Exactly, Teresa. I mean, you know, it's just uncalled for. And I just don't feel like dealing with it. I'm so sorry, Lynn. So sorry. Okay. So I'm going to grab some jalapenos. Pickled jalapenos is what I have. I don't have any fresh jalapenos. Grab a fork over here. And we're going to just dice some of these up. I'm not doing too many because I don't want to make it too spicy. This is also going to add some color. You could also add fresh jalapenos here, or even green pepper or poblanos would be really good. I love poblano peppers. If you like a little tiny bit of spice to your peppers and you don't like bell peppers, you might try poblanos because they have such a different flavor and it's so good. All right, so now I'm adding in my jalapenos. All right, that's looking good. The onions look like they're starting to soften. So now I'm grabbing my corn. Last year we, cut a bunch of fresh corn off the cob, and we froze a ton of bags of them. Me, Andrew, my mom, and my dad. So this is that fresh corn. It's still a little bit frozen, but just enough that I was able to kind of dump it out. And I'm going to pour this into the pan. I'm actually going to turn the heat up just a little bit back to, you know, right above medium. You could also just use regular store-bought fresh corn or regular store-bought corn in the freezer section. Or you can use canned corn, whatever you have. I kind of prefer, if I'm going to buy corn at the supermarket, I prefer it to be frozen rather than canned. Because then it's like fresh frozen, and canned isn't the same, you know? All right, so I'm gonna crank the heat up a little bit higher because now what I wanna do is cook out that moisture and kind of brown that corn a little bit. If it will, I'm not sure if I can get it browned. So there might be too much moisture in here. But we're gonna make this release all of its moisture so that it's not wet, okay? Because we're gonna be adding some cream to this in the form of cottage cheese. You guessed it. So we'll see how this goes. But right now, I turned the heat up because you can see that frozen corn, it kind of just dyed all of it down. And so brought the heat back up so that it'll, yeah. Okay. So now, while that's cooking, I'm going to chop up some garlic. I want to add some garlic to it as well. I love garlic. Do you all like garlic? And do you use fresh garlic or do you use the kind in the jar? I pretty much always use fresh. I like a lot of garlic, so I'm going to go with 4. Teresa, thanks for asking. He's doing good. He's in Florida. All right. Okay. So let's get those skins off. Some of them are just coming right off. That never happens. All right. Yay, Kathy. I am so glad that everyone likes theirs. I'm going to cut off that root end. It's very good for you, isn't it? Hey, Andrea, I'm making Mexican street corn. Well, that's what that person on YouTube was giving me a hard time about. Because I said I was making Mexican street corn, so all of a sudden I was racist. All right, so just gonna chop this up. Oh my goodness, are you serious, Dana? You don't like garlic? Honestly, I'm not sure I've ever heard anyone say that. So, of course, you could leave it out. We do too, Teresa, actually. When Andrew makes his, what he calls cha-cha-cha, which is hibachi, he uses the canned garlic because he uses just like a ton of it. So it's easier to just grab a bunch of spoonfuls and throw it in. All right. So this is cooking away. We've got it on high right now, or like medium high, to cook out the extra liquid. I'm going to set my garlic aside because I'm going to add it towards the end. Oh, garlic in a jar is disgusting? Okay. Oops, I just lost my green onions. All right, y'all. We're going to get our cottage cheese smooth, okay? I thought of this today. Why have they not come out with a blended cottage cheese in a tub? That seems like just literally a no-brainer. Why has no one done that yet? Oh, garlic. Okay, I see. I thought you were saying garlic, and I was like, I've never heard anyone say they didn't like garlic. The garlic in the jar, I see. I don't know how much of this I'm going to do, so I'm just eyeballing and guessing between 1/2 and 3/4 of a cup, something like that. And we're gonna blend this smooth. And I do it in a blender. I find I don't have much success getting it super smooth in a food processor. I have better luck in a blender. So I'm just pulsing because it seems to be the easiest way to make sure that it gets going. And then we're gonna turn it on medium and let it roll. We're just gonna let it go until it gets smooth. Made with blended cottage cheese, Andrea? Yes, I have made that. I've made it with frozen strawberries, and it's delicious. All right, this is looking good. So I'm gonna add more salt to this and some pepper, and then I'm gonna start adding some spices, I think. Evidently, Dana. They do that on Facebook too. It's just, Facebook is different because I'm established on Facebook. And the algorithm is different. Okay, so we've got a smooth cottage cheese now. So we're gonna be able to add this to our corn. Okay, all the liquid is cooked out. So now I'm gonna add in the garlic. I also kind of want to see if I can get this a little brown. So I think I'm gonna just spread that out and leave that for a minute and see if I can't get that kind of browned. You know, because I kind of want the corn to brown a little bit. Shirley, give it a try. I know, but give it a try. I have been experimenting with it in so many different recipes. And the great thing about cottage cheese is that it's low calorie. So it's a wonderful, like, creamy item to use that's not going to add nearly as many calories as cottage cheese, or I'm sorry, cream cheese, sour cream, heavy cream, things like that. You could definitely use Greek yogurt as well. I find we like cottage cheese better because it doesn't have as much of a tang as Greek yogurt does. And so once it's blended up, you get this really beautiful cream. I mean, look how pretty that is. And it's just perfect for so many things. All right, let me, it's not quite there. I can hear it, but, so this is cilantro. Y'all, this is cilantro. It's been in my fridge for, oh, it's on its last leg. Yes, and it's added protein, exactly. So I'm trying to pick off some leaves to add to this. And I'm just gonna chop up the cilantro. Y'all, I have also been trying to, with some items that I don't use as much of that stay in my fridge for a while, I'm trying to figure out how to make them last longer. So I've been Googling how to make them last longer, and that has helped a lot. So things that I've been using that on is herbs, and asparagus, cucumbers, I think those are the main things I've been trying to prolong right now because they just don't, sometimes they'll sit in my fridge for a week or so and then they just go bad. So. All right, let's starting to get a little bit of color. We're not going to get that char like you would if it was an actual corn on the cob. Since this is frozen corn, we won't get that same look. All right, I'm going to go ahead and add in my garlic now. Let that cook for a minute until it's fragrant. Oh, so the asparagus, you bring it home, trim the ends, and then put it into a mason jar with about 1 inch of water once the asparagus is in there. About 1 inch of water after the asparagus is in. And then put a plastic bag just over the top. Then for the cilantro, it's the same way. So you just add a little bit of water to the bottom, and then you just put your bag over the top of the cilantro. Parsley, you put it, I think you trim the ends, put it into a wet paper towel that you wrap around the ends, and then put it in a Ziploc bag. And then cucumbers, you wash them and dry them and wrap them each in a paper towel and put them in a plastic bag. All right. So this is looking good. I'm going to start adding the rest of my ingredients. I'm going to turn the heat down to low because it's pretty much cooked, right? I do want to go ahead and taste it, and I'm going to start adding some other spices to it as well. So I'm going to add some tahini because that's kind of like a classic street corn ingredient. So I'm going to add some of that. I'm not going to go overboard with it because I'm not crazy about it. And then I'm also going to add some chili powder as well. Okay. Then let's add in our cream. So this is the cottage cheese that we blended. So we're using this in place of cream cheese. So like I said, you could definitely use cream cheese if you want to instead of the blended cottage cheese. We're just trying to make this a little bit healthier and a little lower calorie. Just making this kind of creamy. That's looking pretty good. All right, I'm gonna taste it, and then we've also got cilantro and some queso fresca cheese to add to it. I'm kind of scraping the bottom too, want to get up those dark bits off the bottom. All right, I'm gonna taste this. Let me just use this right here. That's really good. It's a little spicy, but it's really good. Okay, I think it needs a little more salt, and then we're gonna add our cheese and our cilantro. Okay. Oops, daisies. All right, so let me grab a bowl to put it in. I don't have very many bowls up here that are just pretty bowls. They're all put away. Yes, for sure, Dana. You gotta find ways, and that's why Andrew and I have turned to cottage cheese so much, because it doesn't feel like we're missing out. I feel like, it's those types of things, those creamy things that are hard to replace when you're eating healthy. And adding the cottage cheese provides that. But you don't feel guilty about it because it's high in protein, it's low in calories. All right. Let's add this in. Now we could also add more. You could add more cottage cheese if you wanted it to be even creamier. You know, it's not super colorful because I really needed like some red bell peppers, but I didn't have any, so going with what I got here. Okay, so queso fresco, one of my favorites. It's so delicious. Yes, Christine, they really are. Deborah, a substitute for cottage cheese for this dish would be like cream cheese, sour cream, something like that. I do not have a substitute for cottage cheese that is going to be the best thing. Really is Greek yogurt. That's the only substitute I can come up with that would be a low calorie option. So we're just going to crumble this on top. And I think I'm going to mix some in and then I'll put some more on top. But I tell you, I encourage you, even if you don't like cottage cheese, I encourage you to try it. Not just on its own, okay? But I encourage you to blend it up and use it as the cream in some of your recipes. I promise you're never going to know. You're just never gonna know. You're not gonna know that it's cottage cheese. I just really don't think you will. Because like I said, I didn't even love cottage cheese, but I could always eat it in things. Try the ranch dip, Danae. It's truly amazing. I'm not kidding. It really is. If Griffin will eat it, I would think just about anyone would eat it because that kid is stuck on ranch for sure. All right, so then we'll add our cilantro, which adds a beautiful color. Greek yogurt would definitely work in this recipe for sure. All right, and that's our Mexican street corn. Look how pretty that is. So I hope y'all enjoyed this. It's got, and like I said, I just throw it together so I don't have any, you know, specific recipe or anything like that. But I used a bag that I had frozen of fresh frozen corn. And then we did half of a large onion, a couple of spoonfuls of pickled jalapenos, a few pieces of bell pepper. I didn't have a lot. And then we added garlic, cilantro, cottage cheese that had been blended up, and tahini, chili powder, salt, pepper, cotija cheese or queso fresca cheese, and cilantro. All right. Heather says, I tried the cottage cheese with ranch dip for dressing and it was so good. Yes, isn't it, Heather? Oh my goodness. Wow, Dana. Well, cottage cheese is a great way to add in that protein for sure. All right, y'all, have an amazing day. Thanks so much for joining me. I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye, everybody.